right, welcome guys to my YouTube channel. I would like to thank you for even going ahead and watching the videos. So if you guys are interested in what I'm going to be teaching, which is simple Forex lessons, lesson number one will be support and resistance. Please go ahead and give it a like and a follow, as I am not very good at these videos yet, but I am learning and I will get better. So Forex lessons number one. All right, support and resistance. Support, resistance. That's it. That's a lesson. No, that's not a lesson. So I'm going to tell you what is support and resistance. I'm going to tell you about trend lines, trend channels, and the most important of all, I'm going to tell you how to trade support and resistance. All right, so that's what we're going to be getting into in our videos today. So support and resistance, you would like to know what support and resistance is. Simplistically, it is key levels in the market. So key levels in the market. It's one of the most widely used concepts in trading, support and resistance. And it's strange because even though it seems like they have their own idea of how you should measure support and resistance, and there's lots of different ways that people go about measuring support and resistance. There's anything from as key to minor levels to major daily levels, top-down analysis from the daily chart, down to even as little as the 15-minute to 1-minute chart, if that's what you like to trade. So support and resistance, guys. If you take a look over here on my screen, I could draw out right now the big major support and resistance from what I have on my screen now. Now this is my trading that I did on my live account, but I don't have any of the stuff here because I switched my money out and going to put in more money in as the week begins, because I like to take my profit out over the weekend. I don't trade past the weekend. I don't trade in the weekend. I get my profits or losses done and I analyze it throughout the weekend. So I'm going to draw quick support and resistance lines here. As you can see, I already have the line set up. So as you can see, major support and resistance levels is these two golden lines here, dotted lines. And what I'd like to also draw out is a medium. So the middle area of the support and resistance. So that's how you really find out what the major support and resistance is, because there will usually be consolidations. It'll fluctuate in between the zones of the middle area, the median of the support resistance. So I have support down here, resistance up here. This is actually a really high point in the market. I believe it did go higher earlier in the month, but this is a high point in the market. So support and resistance, guys. So what you kind of want to look for is bounces off the support line, which happens here, bounces off the resistance line, which happens up here. You want to look for trades to go back down to the support line to take out liquidities that's down in this area right here, which happened over here on December 2nd, and it rose up from there. And that's the kind of trades that I made money off of this week. I knew that this was an area of big liquidity because of a couple of days ago on the 30th, and it also came back down to the same line on the 2nd. Now normally people would jump right into buys as soon as it gets to that resistance line, which it triggered a lot of those buys and started going up, but it also shot back down to hit those stop losses really quick. So support and resistance areas, what happens is price usually breaks through a support area to become a resistance area, and price will break through a resistance area to again become a support area. So also when you're like plotting support and resistance, you really want to go back to like a daily time frame. As you can see, I have a lot of big support and resistance areas. So when you draw back down to your smaller time frames, you can see how price really bounces off of these areas. So that's a big thing. You really want to do a top-down analysis, which is where you want to start from a higher time frame and get the gist of what's going on in the market as a whole for the month, the week, the year, what's been happening all year. You kind of want to know what's going on all the time in the economy. It's not about just looking at the price of the chart and saying, "Oh, I think it's going to go up," because of course you think it's going to go up. We all think it's going to go up. We don't know if it'll go up. So what you really want to do is get a chance to analyze the market as a whole, and you also want to drop back down to lower time frames so you can really get a gist of what's going on in the market from the trader's standpoint, from how traders have been trading it and how these levels have been hit and what's been going on therefore. So you want to read the charts from left to right and then from right to left also. So kind of threw a little hitch in there for you. You want to read it from left to right and right to left also. So big thing, how do you really know if a support line has been broken? So what you want to see here is you see there's a support area. It's traded through down in this mark right here, and a lot of people would get into sells thinking that the support area was broken, but that's only because they're looking at such a low time frame. You know, it looks like, okay, support area. Oh, it's broken. Oh, it retested. Oh, it's definitely going down. It's not. I knew it wasn't. A lot of people knew it wasn't going down, so a lot of people make money off of this. What it did was go ahead, broke through, and then went back up to retest, but ended up just shooting up to the higher side. So, I mean, that went ahead with a lot of information that's been going on with the economy and this new virus that's been coming out. So, that's what's been happening with that. So, when you're testing support and resistance, you really want to make sure before you get into a trade that you have those confirmation candles. Confirmation candles are very important, guys. Very important confirmation candles. So your intentions is obviously to buy at support levels and sell at resistance levels, but you also want to watch out for when you put your stop loss that you don't put it too close to the level, because that's not where the price is always going to stop directly at that level. It clearly wants to drop down, sometimes trick you into getting into certain moves, and then go ahead with what it's been doing. So right now I'm going to introduce you on how to trade support and resistance. Not how to lay it out because I already did that, but how to trade support and resistance. So looking in hindsight, obviously this is not the market live trading. I could do that, but what I thought about with my live trading is I like to trade on a 15-minute chart, but that's not fast enough for you guys. You guys don't like that because it takes too long for my trades to actually get into. So I have to pause the video a lot, which is fine too with me. But I mean, I don't trade because I have all the time in the world. I do have job, multiple incomes, and I have other things I have to get into. When I will be live trading, I will be live trading on a lower time frame. So the chart will move faster. You can see things play out better because, as you know, time and the price charts are fractal. So if something happens on a higher price chart, it'll happen on a lower price chart in a smaller window. So the price action is still the same. Price action is very fractal. It's like you can go 1 hour chart and then you go down to 15-minute chart. You see the same move. It's okay. So how to trade support and resistance. As you see here, we have what's called a double bottom. The double bottom also happens on a support line, excuse me, and after that it trades up. It also goes down to hit the support line. After that, there's another trade. You could trade it up. Now, what you want to look at is for these confirmational candles, single candles, which is hit the support line. You see this doji candle right here, and this upside down hammer. It's clearly going up from there. It gives you a chance to get back in the trade here, which is what created the double bottom. It went up. Also, when it went up, you had one more chance to get in. It's when you see a bigger candle for the sell to try to push as hard as it could, and that second candle created that upside down hammer. So that's when you wanted to take your trade. You could have took your trade from right here at this confirmation and traded it up to, I would have traded it to the body of this candle, which was 22 pips. Wonderful trade. You can trade full time with 22 pips. Wonderful trade. So when it comes to trading resistance, what I like to see is it go for a higher time frame. It go to higher prices that it hasn't broken in a while, and you want to see that resistance broken, consolidated for a little while on a resistance, and then you want to see it drop down. So what we have over here is the market went price action wise to the higher time frame. It broke it, retraced back down and retested, went through, broke it again. Now, as you can see, this big candle wants you to get into the trade, but right before these candles, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, you have 3 hammers back to back. 3 hammers where it tried to go up really high and it couldn't. And then you have another, what I call that big long, where it pushes the rest of what it can do into the market, and you see a nice bull candle go up, and it's met by a nice upside down hammer. So it traded down from there and tried to retrace, but when it retraced, it hit another level and then went to the medium of the resistance area and that median area. So, I mean, there's super minor key areas, and there's major minor key areas, and there's major key areas. There's so many key areas that you have to look for. And as I'm getting the cue call of my wife with an attitude, because apparently she's trying to watch something and she can't hear it, I'm going to kind of leave the video there. Like I said, guys, support and resistance very important, and price action trading. And another thing I say, guys, I'm not very good at these videos, so if you can leave a like and a comment.